August 1995, Puerto Rico. A farmer named Madeline Tolentino went out to check on her goats. What she found still has no explanation. 3 goats lay dead. Each had 3 precise punctures on its chest. The blood was completely drained. No tracks, no paw prints, no signs of struggle. A week later, 8 more goats. Then 20. Then hundreds. Farmers were afraid to go out at night. And then they saw it. A creature the size of a small bear. Gray, rough skin. Spines along its back. Huge red eyes, glowing in the darkness. Madeline stood 2 meters from it. The creature didn't move. It just watched. Then it turned and jumped. 1 leap, 6 meters. Another, and it vanished into the forest. She ran to the police. The officers looked at the dead goats, looked at her, wrote down, probably a wild dog. But dogs don't drink blood. Dogs leave tracks. Dogs don't jump 6 meters. And those wounds had no teeth marks. A month later, the attacks happened again. In another area, then another town, then across the entire island. Farmers took out their rifles, set traps, les bon filles, stayed up all night. The creature kept coming back, almost like it was taunting them. Someone named it El Chupacabras, the goat's sucker. The name stuck instantly. The legend found its voice. Within a year, the Chupacabra was seen in Mexico, then Chile, then Argentina. The creature crossed borders faster than police reports. The descriptions matched with terrifying precision. Gray skin, spines, red eyes, 3 punctures on the victims' necks. Blood drained to the last drop. In Brazil, they called it Un Monstro Sangrento. In Bolivia, El Diablo de las Colinas. In the US, just Chupacabra. The name needed no translation. Scientists were silent. Biologists threw up their hands. Zoologists said, "This cannot be." But dead goats lay on tables. Television crews arrived in Puerto Rico. Reporters stood on farms with serious faces. Farmers showed the wounds. Viewers across America heard the word for the first time. The Chupacabra became a star. Newspapers wrote about it. Radio talked about it. Children were afraid to go in their yards. By 1997, the Chupacabra had been seen in 18 countries, from Chile to the Philippines, from the US to Russia. The legend was no longer local. There was one problem. Every witness described a different monster. Some saw wings. Some saw kangaroo legs. Some saw the face of a dog. Cryptozoologists rejoiced. Finally, a beast that could be caught. Expeditions were organized. Grants were written. No one caught anything, but the attacks continued. Farmers lost livestock. Police lost patience. Journalists lost interest. And then he appeared, an old biologist from Texas, with a rusty pickup truck and a mangy dog. One he found on the road. The dog was hairless, gray, wrinkled skin. Its spine protruded like spikes. Its eyes were red from infection. They called it simply Coyote, old sick covered in mange. Scientists call it sarcoptic mange, a mite that destroys fur and disfigures skin. The biologists took samples, compared the DNA. The animal was a coyote, but dying defenseless, mistaken for a monster. The news spread instantly. The Chupacabra is just a coyote with mange. Skeptics triumphed. Farmers felt like fools. But one problem remained. That story. In Puerto Rico, 1995, coyotes don't live there. And those first wounds weren't from mange. Scientists explained hysteria. People saw what wasn't there. Farmers were mistaken. Madeline Tolentino made it up. But she didn't make it up. She stood 2 meters from it. She saw those eyes. They cannot be mistaken for a sick dog. The story of the Chupacabra is a story of 2 truths. First, sick coyotes really exist. They're found in Texas, Mexico, the southern US. They're scary. They drink blood. They're not monsters. Second, the first attacks in Puerto Rico don't match this version. Coyotes aren't there. The wounds aren't from teeth. The jumps aren't canine. Cryptozoologists still argue. Was it an unknown subspecies of wild dog? A mutant escaped from a secret lab? Or just false memory, blown up by television? Madeline Tolentino died in 2019. Until her last day, she swore she saw it. Not a coyote, not a dog, something with no name. Her story was recorded, placed in an archive, next to hundreds of others, that no one has explained. Because a legend is not a lie. A legend is a story people believe, even if it has a scientific explanation, especially if it doesn't. Today, the Chupacabra is a meme. T-shirts, prints, Halloween costumes. Kids laugh at farmers who feared a bald dog. The legend is dead, but every few months, a new story appears. Somewhere in Chile, a sheep is killed. In Mexico, a drain goat is found. A farmer can't sleep again. He doesn't believe in monsters. He believes his eyes, and his eyes see what they see, even if science says it isn't there. The Chupacabra is not an animal. The Chupacabra is a moment, when fear becomes visible, when the unknown takes shape. We will never know what Madeline Tolentino saw that night. Her testimony is all we have, or all we're willing to accept. So the question is not whether the Chupacabra exists. The question is, why do we need it to exist? Why do we still stare into the darkness and wait for something to stare back?